it sound good, and it whistled real nice. Taking a look at the graph, we've got a returning truck, Shannon's 2015 Platinum F250, powered by our F3 HP package. Today, that truck on 35-inch tall tires laid down 607 rural horsepower and 1,059 feet-pound of torque. This thing is a monster. Guys, super fun to drive, spools nice and quick. Why in the hell is this truck here when it's already powered by our F3 HP package? Shannon wants to make more power. We game planned earlier this year. We want to push this truck to its maximum potential on a stock engine and try to keep the rods inside the block, but where he can still have fun with it every single day. This truck's got like 150,000 miles on it, for you guys wondering. What are we gonna do today? We're gonna go next door. We're gonna show a compare and contrast between our F3 HP package and the F4 HP package going on that rig. Just coming off the dyno with our F3 HP package, making over 600 rural horsepower on 35-inch tall tires, this dude rips. Truck's a lot of fun to drive. The customer knows that he's been wanting to make more power. Let's talk about our F3 package. If you missed the build, check it out here. We can maximize this truck with the package on it, but if we push it to its limits, how long will it last? It's the same thing as this. Take a small guy like myself, take him to the gym, you juice him up, he's gonna be able to bench press a lot more weight, but how long can he sustain that maximum effort? That's where the F3 package does have a limit. Now, we're gonna upgrade, and we're upgrading to our F4 HP package. We broke this down real simple for you guys. We've got air, we've got fuel, we've got preventative maintenance. Nobody cares about preventative maintenance, right? First category, let's talk about the turbocharger and the charged air cooler. First category we're gonna be talking about is air. We've got two products on the table that's gonna help us deliver the maximum efficiency out of our F4 HP package. First product we've got a no-limit Billet intercooler. What is an intercooler, right? An intercooler's job is as simple as this. The turbocharger will spin air. As you spin air, you compress it. As you compress it, as you see my hands doing, you're heating it up. So the air is hot. You cannot make power, you can, but you can't make a lot of power with hot air. You wanna pass it through something and cool it down. There's water that also runs through here. So you've got the coolant system of the truck. Take a look inside there. It's just like a radiator. So air's gonna come in, it's gonna go through all those veins, pass through, and when it comes out the other end, it's gonna be cool, hence the name of a charged air cooler. You just charge the air, making it have more molecules per square inch. When you dive it inside the engine, you're gonna make more power. Lower EGTs, the goal is with keeping the exhaust gas temperatures down, you want to get the charged air cooler temps down, under control, so you can make efficient power. Speaking of power, speaking of boost, all the things that we want to know about, we've got an S300 on our F3 HP package, but now for our F4 package, we have the S400. First off, what's S400? It's a larger frame turbocharger. Seen a bunch of them on the Dodge Cummins as we talk about. What size is the wheel? That's the biggest thing, right? We've got a 68mm Batmo wheel from Bullseye Turbocharger. This guy, take a look at it. It's all CNC billet aluminum. This thing is gonna pull some air in. It's gonna compress it. We're gonna make a lot of power, flow it through the no-limit intercooler, and off we go. Next category we're gonna be talking about is the fuel side of things. I know what you're thinking. Our F3 HP package, hey Tyson, turn that pulse width up, let that dude eat. That's a cool story, but here's the thing. We don't want to blow up that truck. When you're turning on an injector, and you've got the factory one in there, you can turn it on so long, and you can keep spraying fuel in there. So you've got a piston bowl, you're spraying fuel in there, we want it to hit inside the center. If you've ever seen a piston bowl, they've got a gland in there where you want to spray it. When you get it outside of it, all hell breaks loose. We do not want to do that. So what we picked for this truck is a River City Machine 60 over factory injector. This dude has 60% more potential fuel than the factory injector. Why? So that way, when we're up, we're making that 700 horsepower, we're a little over that, we want to turn it on. The injector doesn't have to work as hard. It says, turn on for just a split second, but I delivered more fuel. It's more efficient. Same analogy as this. If you walk up to a bonfire, you got your diesel fuel hose, and you spray it on the fire, it's gonna get warm and it's gonna glow. You walk up to that fire with a can of ether or starting fluid and you go, tss, tss, boom! You like that echo? So our main goal with these 60% over injectors are this. When this injector sprays fuel inside the cylinder, we want to stay as close as possible to that piston bowl. If we got crazy, left the factory injectors in there, and we sprayed fuel, we've got to crank the pulse width. So we're supposed to be spraying up and down, but an injector can spray to the side. When you inject it and it starts going out, now we're spraying on the sides of the piston, and as it's going up and down, we're walking side to side. As we do that, what do you think is going to happen? We're going to kick out a stock rod in that truck. We do not want to kick out a stock rod in that truck. Got to be with that truck. We want a 60% over injector to spray fuel. We don't want to get crazy with the timing or the pulse width. Make power. So the last category we're going to be talking about is preventative maintenance. And I know what you're thinking. Hey man, put the turbocharger on there, put the big injector, and let's let this thing rip. Well, hang tight, because getting in a rush, we can blow that dude up, and that is not what we want to do. We've got the front cover on the table. It's a brand new OEM unit. And again, what does this have to do with making power? This front cover has everything to do with making power. But more importantly, what goes in here? You've got a water pump on this brand new unit. You've got the oil pump on here. But what does the oil pump, which is this, it's a gear rotor, super cool, right? What happens inside of here? You've got the crankshaft. Now let's go to the truck. Let's take a look at a welded crank gear on the crankshaft. Guys, we're taking a look. We've got a couple welds around that gear. What is its main job to do? Its main job is to this. Keep the crank gear attached to the crank. Let me paint this picture for you. If that gear spins, which is only pressed on from the factory, you're looking at one we have welded in the truck. If that gear were to spin, when we're making all this power out of our F4 HP package, we are very, very likely to blow this thing up, and all the money spent to get where we are today is all for nothing. We need a new engine. Hell, we might need a new turbocharger. Depends on what goes through it. So yes, the preventative maintenance on the F4 HP package is one thing that can be done in the very beginning, but it's something that is a must whenever we're making that big, big power. We've got to take care of the engine because we know well as you do, you don't want to dump all this in there, go out for a weekend and blow this dude sky high. Our F4 HP package, we covered the air, we've covered the fuel, we've covered preventative maintenance. If there's one thing I want you guys to take from this, it's all about the preventative maintenance of not blowing your truck up. When we install this F4 HP package, we're going to have a lot more fuel and a lot more air. Blowing it up is something we do not want to do. We want to avoid that at all costs. So guys, in the next couple weeks, I'm going to be working on this thing. You're going to see it back on the channel, finished, making power on the dyno. I'm going to let Macy take over the reins next week. Make sure you be nice to her. She got a brand new 21 Powerstroke. We've got that dude ready and equipped with our F1 HP package. She's going to get on the dyno, may hit her with a few questions, so that way she can answer a few things that you guys want to know, because it's all about learning, right? Then we're going to be back with this thing. I want you guys to jump in the comments. Maybe I'm being a little bit too cautious about the power we're making and welding up the crank gear. Simple as this. Are you a client? If you had the opportunity, we build a truck for you. Do you want your crank gear welded up, or do you not? Make for sure you like, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and we'll see you back here next week at Point Blank Performance.